My cheating girlfriend wants to get back with me. I met this beautiful girl at my college in the end of 2018. I was quite unhealthy, so I decided to join my friends, which they later quit after only lazy 2 weeks, at a gym that was right next to the college and quite popular for college students. I would work out after school for an hour or two, sometimes 3, and every time I left the gym, there she was, standing outside, looking amazing as always. We'd usually meet eye contact a lot, but that was all, until she joined the gym herself and was always there. Obviously, over time we started to talk a little and things just clicked on from there. There'll be times where it was just the two of us alone in the gym, so that was great. There'll also be times where we'll leave at the same time, so we decide to go get a drink, sometimes coffee, mostly just soft drinks, and few times a milkshake or something. This went on for 3 months till we kinda just fell in love with each other. I also started seeing great changes in my looks from my workouts and kinda felt happy for a long time. Not only did I feel happy from the results, but also from the fact that I had this perfect woman by my side as well. We dated for a year and it was amazing. We had similar interests, liked the same shows, secretly hooked up many times at her place, and I honestly felt as if I was gonna marry her one day. As you can tell from the title of the post, things didn't really end well for me. There was a week where she'd go cold on me, barely respond to my texts, and stopped going to the gym as regularly as she usually would. I asked her about it, but she just said there was nothing wrong. After I went home, she called me and told me that we kind of needed some time apart. I felt miserable but accepted it and hoped it wasn't my fault and that we'll overcome this. That break ended and we were back to normal. She became more affectionate as ever. This only lasted for a month, in which in the time period I treated her out more, spent more time, even skipped few lessons so I can see her more, and just tried my best to make her happy. She started to work at a coffee shop after college, which was no big deal. I'd pick her up after she'd finish her shift and we'd just walk, sometimes go shopping, and do other stuff. But she started to get more annoyed every time I showed up to pick her up. She would also tease that she doesn't need me picking her up every time, so I decided to stop picking her up. Maybe she needed more alone time. I didn't pick her up after college for about a week until I was working out longer than usual. I finished and was planning on walking back home. Then I realized that she was gonna finish work in a few minutes and decided to go meet her. I was a block away until I saw her walking away, talking and laughing with another dude. I was confused at the time and just stood there till I realized that they were long gone. I went back home and decided to call her. She didn't respond. I called her a few times but she didn't respond. After a few hours she called me and I confronted her about it. She said it was just a co-worker and that he was nothing but a friend. I felt like I was overreacting and quiet quilty, that I assumed she was shallow. But there was just that weird gut feeling, if that makes sense. So the next day, I didn't see her at college or at the gym and it was another long workout. I finished a bit early and was walking home till I saw her randomly waiting outside a shop. I came up to her to say hello, but she was acting very strangely, begging me to walk away and that she'll explain why later. I was just gonna go till that dude, the co-worker, came out the shop and asked me what the F I was doing with his girl. My heart just dropped at that moment. I felt like I was gonna break, but for some reason I held my shiz together, looked her straight in her eyes and told her it was over between us. The guy looked dumbfounded and soon angry towards her. I just walked away as my legs were shaking. I took the bus and just went home. I admit, I cried the whole night. I didn't look at my phone either. I didn't go college the next day and just sat there on the bed. I finally got to my phone to find out that it was spazzing with messages and phone calls. I opened them and she was sending me messages saying that she made a mistake, begging me to forgive her, how she only loved me, how we can work things through. But I didn't respond. I responded after a couple hundred more texts and calls from her. I told her how she broke my trust and that it was never happening, never getting back. I blocked her after that because I didn't want to see any shit from her again. I went to college after a few days later and tried my best to not see her around. I did eventually see her, but she was still with that dude. It hurt a lot to see, but I didn't want to give her the satisfaction of seeing me hurt, so I hid it. The fact she moved on so fast hurt the most. It felt as if I was some disposable boyfriend. She didn't go to the gym thankfully, and that made me work out more seriously than before. I also didn't eat more junk now that she was gone. It was nice, but I still would have preferred her. It went like this for a month. My more intense workout made me move on from her fast and became a coping mechanism for me. I started to chat more often to some of the girls at my gym, but still felt guilty as if I was cheating on her, but I soon got over that weird feeling. There was this girl at my gym that apparently had a crush on me, but I couldn't find the confidence to approach. Her friends who were also at the gym kept egging me on to ask her out, so after another week I finally did. She blushed and was shocked but accepted. We went on a couple of dates, and she is even more perfect than my ex. I was honestly happy, which felt like a long-lost emotion. We ended up dating and it was amazing. She thinks she's too lucky to have me and that I'm too good looking for her, but I think she's way above my league. It's a cute dynamic. COVID hit and college closed, so now I can't go gym and see my girl as often. But I do still meet her. We go for long walks together as a weekly exercise thing. After 2 months later I get a call from a random number and it was my ex. She cries venting on the call, and I find out that the guy she was with was fucking her best friend behind her back, and how the guy was abusive. She told me how breaking up with me was the worst decision and how no man pleased her as much as I did and how she wanted to try again. I still somewhat loved her but knew things won't work. So I just advised her to leave the guy and told her it's not happening. She then pleaded me to at least talk to her occasionally. I hope she does well because no one deserves an abusive relationship, but I just don't see it happening. BTW, I blocked her. I know this was a long-ass post. I apologize to anyone who had to read this. I'll update if anything interesting happens, but I doubt it. I've posted this on another subreddit for advice. Now that I'm never talking to her, I just thought I'll share it here.